Hello everybody, my name is Kenneth and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be checking out my first solo of the highlight members in terms of original releases. I have previously reacted to covers. We are reacting today to YOSEOP's Yotojoka, also called Fade Away. For those of you that might not watch my other videos, I've been struggling a little bit with my conditions in real life. So today I'm really hoping for a slow song, maybe. Something that I can really just kind of chill and focus with. I don't know what we're going to be getting, of course, and I'm happy for whatever, but just for my kind of well-being, shall we say, I'm hoping for a slightly slower paced song, but again, I'm happy with anything. Before we get into this, pause warning as always, this is a reaction video. If you skip this pause warning and then complain about it later, I'm sorry, but I am giving you a pause warning. This is a reaction video. This is not the original content. I assume if you're watching this when I put this out that you've seen the original song, heard the original song, and so you're here to see how I react. I am also autistic, and so I often pause in order to give myself time to process my thoughts. So if that's not for you, that is totally okay. But please, if you watch this pause warning and then complain, I don't know what to tell you. But without any further ado, let's check this out together. I'm really looking forward to this. So yeah, let's go. I don't know if you guys just heard my foot crack. Probably didn't, but that was really good comedic timing on my foot's part. Anyway, let's check this out. Before we get into this, there are no captions. I am planning on watching, I think it's the Dingo music version, like a live performance of this. So I think when I do that, I'm going to also have lyrics on this screen just for myself, just to follow along. But we're going to just listen and feel the song, I think, for this first time. So yeah. Also, don't mind the glitching. I don't know what YouTube is up to, but yeah. Let's go. Ooh.
희미해져 선명했던 마지막 인사까지 좀더
Okay, sorry. I know I'm pause. I wanted to pause earlier, but the clicker thing wouldn't work. First of all, that the way that we moved from that scene in the ocean there, with the piano playing itself, and then the way it cuts to his hand there, almost in a position like as if he's maybe just finished playing or something, like, or imagining he's just finishing playing. It's just such like a beautiful start. I love his voice. Again, I'm gonna do my best to follow along. Not fluent in Korean, not even close. But he sounds really good. This is really pretty. And I'm loving the way it's shot. It's keeping from the comeback trailer. It's keeping that kind of vibe to it, which I like.
인사까지 좀더 머물러 주길 바랐던 걸까
That was nice.
네 흔적이라도 날 보며 웃던 영화 같았던 그날의 기억한 조각마저
He's so pretty.
점점 더 fade away, fade away, fade away. 네가
Oh, did you guys hear that? When it was like, fade away, fade away. It sounded like the reverb in the background was increasing. Almost like his voice was starting to fade away there. I'm loving how we started like really soft, and then we've come into this chorus, and it's bigger as a chorus. I'm assuming this is the chorus as you would expect it to be. But it's made bigger with like a spatial aspect to it, rather than being like loud and bombastic, which wouldn't fit this kind of song. It adds a bunch more elements in the music in order to fill out the space and make it feel bigger, without increasing that volume. Again, that bombastic method isn't used here. which I really, really like the way that that is. This is really beautiful sounding. Again, it's so well shot.
away, fade away, fade away. 네가 옅어져가 또 내게서.
Ooh, that piano is really nice.
웃음이 조금은 낯설어 널 잊으려 했지만 수없이 반복해 너를 되새겨 한참을 떠올리던 난데 좀 더 네 곁에 있길 바랐던 그날.
Ooh, that's a nice shot. That's the thumbnail. Sorry, this is the thumbnail. I really like the way that we've got this like contemporary kind of scene, watching like, it's almost like watching like home movies, but like on a big screen, intermixed with these clips of the movie theater, the cinema, that traditional, almost like timeless aspect that we all have, like, I guess maybe like moments when we look back at things, maybe, and see maybe how they've changed. I'm really sorry that I'm not good. I'm not good enough to understand everything in this, and I feel really bad. This song is beautiful though. Like I said, when we do the Dingo music reaction, right after this, I will have on my screen for me the lyrics. But I just want to experience this for the first time. This is how I listen to music. I very rarely, like when I'm not reacting, I very rarely look at lyrics when I'm first listening to a song. I just like to listen to it and take it in. Obviously, it's slightly different because I want to give my thoughts when I'm reacting, but yeah.
바랐던 그날에
Ooh.
내 마음처럼
Ooh.
날 보며 웃던 영화 같았던 그날을 기억한 조각마저 조금씩 fade away, fade away, fade away. 네가 옅어져가 내.
Sorry, I know I'm pausing, but this shot here, I don't know if this is what it is, but it almost feels like every light is and I like that, every light, but every light, every spotlight is like maybe a person, and maybe like a person that maybe is not around anymore, or even just kind of their timeline, if you like, if you want to get like sci-fi or fantasy kind of vibes. You know, each kind of light maybe is a person, or something. I don't know. I really, really like this. It's so pretty. I love his voice. Oh, the choreo. I love in the background there's like a kind of sound. That's not how it sounds, but that kind of texture to it. Oh my god. I love the fact that even though this is a ballad kind of song, there's still pieces of choreo. Like they're small and fragmented parts throughout, like dotted about in this, especially this last part of this last half of the music video. But I love that there's still an inclusion in that, you know. I feel like a lot of ballads, they often lead, especially like the music video for them, they don't often lead into choreo. They just have, this is generally obviously, they often just have like an emotional sequence of shots, a storyline of sorts, but never any real like choreo or like that. And so I love that there is choreo in this. He looks so good in this turtleneck. I'm assuming that's a turtleneck, like turtleneck with a suit on top. Oh, I love this. It's so pretty.
머물러줘
Oh, that cut, those cuts.
멀어져 버린 그 마음도 흩어져 버린 내 기억도 다신 아닐 수 없단 걸 알지만 내가 언제든 꺼내볼 수 있게 옅어지지
Oh no, shut up. That was beautiful. I'm struggling to formulate words. I am this close to speechless. Thank you for putting CHOREO in this and the way that everyone is moving. Oh my god, I love this. That the way that they I love that formation. I don't even know what you would call that movement, but that formation, oh my not only was that a high note, but the vibrato on the high note, the wavering of the note, that's what vibrato is, but the, oh. I'm in love with this song. I really can't wait to read the lyrics as I'm watching this. I said read, it's an English translation, so obviously not one-to-one, but you get me. Ooh. Oh. I love that. I also, can we just say something I really like? I love that he introduces his artist name here. Yes, as himself, but the way he like says of highlight, I don't know, that just feels really charming to me. That feels really charming to me. I loved this. Already I am so excited to just listen to this even more, like obviously outside of this video. Just the way I could just feel the song. Like I can't tell you like a lot of what was said. Again, I'm not anywhere near fluent Korean, but just the way you could feel so much emotion, and I was just like, I can like, this might be my condition, but I can feel it in my heart. When I just came out of the video there, I just saw the top comment was international fans never-ending struggle for English subs. You know, it would have been a nice little treat if we had, but I'm not someone who's like offended or upset if I don't get it. You know, like I said, when I listen to music, I am someone who will just put on the song and listen to it. Sometimes, if I'm having a very like bad day or something, I have an eye mask with speakers, and I'll just lay down to kind of recover. I'll have the eye mask with the speakers on my head, and I'll just listen to songs, you know, and I will just take everything in. You know, I won't like dance or sing along to anything or anything like that. I'll just take whatever, you know, in, and move forward, as it were. But no, I really, really like that. And then the choreo, we got choreo again. Like so many ballads, you know, you'll see like a storyline like two lovers, or you know, if that's what the ballad happens to be about. In a, you know, like a general sense, you'll have like two lovers, and you'll see like shots interspersed between this storyline, you know, maybe how they were and how the person is, you know, by themselves or something like that. And I just love the inclusion there of the dancing. I think my before we move on to the I think it's Dingo music. I've been saying Dingo music. It is Dingo music. But before we move on to that, my last point is I love the use of light and shadow throughout this. Obviously, I made the ooh lights like the fan base for highlight, but so much of the cinematography was based around these highlights and shadows and how they intermingle and things like that. Like I'm assuming it's like a car parking lot kind of thing. But the place like where the light was like spinning, I think that's the only way I could describe the movement, to reveal and hide things and things like that. Even the black and white, I think it was just let me go back to the dancers really quickly. Yeah, the dancers are white shirts, black trousers, and then YOSEOP there. I think he's all black, right? No, maybe not. Or is that a different sequence? Yeah, in the sequence I'm talking about, he's wearing all black. But there was a sequence that looked like half and half, in terms of dark and then light. And so that was really, really interesting. Because again, when you think about like fading away, you fade into the background, kind of just like you get absorbed by the shadow. Versus like if you have a light, you illuminate and you reveal something. So I really, really like that. We are going to check out the Dingo music. And as I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lyrics on this screen, so you guys won't see it, but I will. And then I will. So if you see me like looking over every now and again, that's what I'll be doing. And so yeah, everything is okay over there. So just in case you probably noticed there, but just to, if you notice like brightness changes or anything like that, I am paying attention to the song. It's just the brightness of the of the website, because the website is in light mode. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing this live. I'm sure it's gonna sound great. But let's hop into it right now. I'm really excited. Just check the volumes. Ooh, bit quieter.
희미해져 선명했던 마지막 인사까지 좀 더 머물러 주길 바랐던 걸까.
Sorry, I have to talk about the way that he was giving this facial expression there. Like you can see like the emotion and the pain in his face. He's so good at emoting. The reason I wanted to pause there while we moved, according to the translations, it says, "What was once so clear is fading, even our final goodbye. Was I hoping you'd stay a little longer, even just your trace." That is a really beautiful verse. I'm really, and I can really see that in, again, the way he's emoting. That idea of, again, like what I was saying, exactly what I was saying about fading into a shadow. Light illuminates everything. But as I hope you didn't just hear my stomach there. But as kind of time moves on and you drift apart from someone, just like how a shadow absorbs all of the detail of a person or a thing that's concealed within it, it's almost like a metaphorical shadow in your mind. So even the memory of that person is fading away.
주길 바랐던 걸까. 네 흔적이라도 널 보며 웃던 영화 같았던 그날의 기억한 조각마저
It looks like he's shaking as he's singing as well a little bit. Sorry, I have to pause that. The way that his voice, and obviously when you have a studio recording, all of that texture kind of gets removed. But there, the way he said fade away, there was like a slight grit to it. I don't know if it was an intentional choice there or if it was just a texture of his voice, you know, just coming out naturally. But again, when you have like a studio recording, yeah, that's all smoothed out. But that was really, really nice to hear because it adds weight to that lyric, and just adds a different vibe because obviously in the studio recording as well, you have that reverb, adding a little trail to his vocal, whereas obviously that isn't here. And so it's interesting that even with a live performance, you're getting different aspects of the same emotion, if that makes sense there. Because like the grit feels like when your voice is kind of starting to give out. I'm not saying his voice is like giving out, but like it's giving that same feeling to me.
Fade away, fade away. 네가 옅어져가 또 내게서.
I'm going to pause because I just want to read this. Even the single fragment of memory of that day that felt like a movie when I smiled while looking at you. He's fading away, you're fading away from me. Yeah, I understand now why the music video and even the comeback trailer had such a focus on storytelling, movies, cinema. Because yeah, I think I said it during the comeback trailer, but obviously with things like film, and I'm talking like old film stock here, while it's often said that like physical things are more reliable than our own minds, things like that, in the same way that our minds can forget things, so too can film stock, and and you know the physical medium of memories. You know, if we take photos of people, those photos get yellowed and blurry and scratched and damaged, and you know they might last longer in terms of kind of like a lifetime than of memory, but in the same way, eventually both our memories and those physical aspects start to lose the detail, and quite literally fade away again. I'm really, really loving this. I know that YOSEOP wrote the lyrics himself, I believe. I believe I read that in the credits for this. But I'm really, really loving this.
웃음이 조금은 낯설어 널 잊으려 했지만 수없이 반복해 너를 되새겨 한참을 떠올리던 난데 좀 더 네 곁에 있길 바랐던 그날의 내 마음처럼 널.
Oh, again, I'm sorry to pause. I just I am trying to do both, but no, I think I'm just gonna pause between the. Obviously, I will pause after the chorus as in the same way, but first Stu says your smile felt a little unfamiliar. I tried to forget you, but I kept repeating it, replaying you. I was someone who lingered on you for so long, just like my heart that day, when I wished I could stay by your side a little longer. Oh. Yeah, that again. There's it's all about how we perceive people, how we remember people. You know, you can fall in love with a person's smile, their eyes, and then when that period passes, when you've moved on, you can look back at again the physical media. You can remember the times, and you can kind of you almost see like a stranger or someone that doesn't feel the same that you did in the moment. You know that you did feel that in the moment, but you don't anymore. And it sounds like, just from this lyric here, about I was someone who lingered on you for so long. It feels to me like this the character that YOSEOP is playing in this song is perhaps the person that was more deeply in love with the other person, and so it's almost like they took longer maybe to get over them, but over time, just like kind of most things, over time you move on, you heal, and you grow and change. And so that's probably why as well, because maybe when the breakup or that whatever happened, you maybe thought you were more in touch with that other person, but then as you do heal and you do grow and maybe you find interests, new interests, and things about yourself that you didn't know, over time, that gap that you know, that similarity you had or thought you had, slowly becomes like a bigger and bigger gap, and you maybe realize like, oh, we didn't have as much in common, or we didn't feel as compatible as maybe I thought we did at the time. But back then, because and again I'm saying the character was so in love, they were willing to ignore, or they just didn't see those incompatibilities. I really, really love this a lot. This is so good. And I just want to say, before I do one pause really quickly, the way that this is shot, and I think this is how most of the Dingo musics are shot, I love the simplicity of this. You know, with the single color background, it looks like it's a very stylish outfit, but a very casual outfit. It's not, doesn't look like something that's like hard to move in, or hard to, you know, to be uncomfortable in. Hard to be uncomfortable in. You know what I mean? It's not uncomfortable to wear. And so it just feels very intimate and relaxed, and I really, really like that about these.
내 마음처럼 널 보며 웃던 영화 같았던 그날의 기억한 조각마저 조금씩 fade away, fade away, fade away. 네가 옅어져가 내 안에서.
I'm gonna go back because I didn't want to interrupt that note, but obviously we go straight into the bridge. I know I said I wasn't gonna pause for the same reasons, but I have to pause there. What I love about this performance, obviously we've got the live vocals, but then we've got there's a backing track of backing vocals, and I like the fact that the backing vocals are exactly that, because they really add to this feeling of distance and forgetting things. And again, I'm using I keep using this metaphor of being absorbed by shadow just because of how the music video was, but that separation between the main vocals from YOSEOP here and those background vocals, it feels in a similar vein to how that reverb was in the original studio song, with it being like a disconnect or a drifting away, or as he kind of says earlier, being a trace of something rather than, you know, it's not taking away from his performance or anything. I love it a lot. So yeah, as I said, I really wanted to pause just before the bridge. Having the lyrics on screen as well, like just even the Korean, is helping me a lot more. I'm a lot better at reading Korean than just listening. I have a horrible time listening in English, which is my native language. So I'm glad that that's consistent. But yeah, I'm glad I did it with this. But even just having the handguard on screen is much appreciated and very helpful.
내 안에서 그날처럼 다시 너를 그려줘 내게 머물러줘 내게 머물러줘
I'm sorry, I'm pausing already. I am going to come back. I love, so what I was saying about the background vocals, he seems to really be leaning into there. He has the vocal line there, and then the oh please and the oh you. He lets the, it's almost like the whispers of the other person or the trace of the other person, kind of, it's like a call and response, and response, so responding back. It's so interesting because according to the lyrics, it says draw you again like that day, stay with you, oh please, stay with you, oh you. And so the way he's performing this, it feels almost like in this part rather than the other parts, there was a mutual lack of not wanting to separate or drift apart, just because of the way he's performing that. Alternatively, if and that's just one like interpretation, but I think the interpretation is the correct one, is more the character at two different points in time, maybe. So the parts that he's actually singing are the real time of the moment of maybe the separation, and then where he lets the backing vocals take over. I say take over, they're not taking over, but you know what I mean, to respond. That's almost like either like his internal thoughts or, as I said, a different time, like a later time, when it's that moment where he's holding on to the slightest sliver of memory of this person. I love as well the way that he earlier he moved, I think it was just after this maybe, here, in between this he moved away. You can tell like he is really, really feeling this song and is really connected with this song. Obviously, as I said, I know he wrote the lyrics to this, and so obviously that is a big reason why. But just the way that he's still so connected to the song, it could be like he's written it about something he's seen or listened to or watched or whatever, but there's definitely a part of me that wonders, is this from an experience that he's had or an experience that he's witnessed? I don't even know what that word was, that he's witnessed in his actual life. At this point, obviously, I'm just speculating, but he definitely is connecting with this song a lot more than you potentially would. I'm not saying you can't connect to a song if you don't write it, but if you've written a song, you're more likely to connect to it in that way. I'm loving this. And it's so low in the mix as well, those responses. Oh, I love that you've got, again, his vocal like taking the main space, and then because I've got headphones on, the background is actually going like this to the right, and I'm using this kind of movement because it's almost like this is its loudest point, and then as it's moving away, it's collapsing into nothing. Oh, I really, really like this.
다시 나눌 수 없단 걸 알지만 내가 언제든 꺼내볼 수 있게 옅어진
I'm not surprised, obviously, that he did the note, but there was a moment where I was like in my brain like, what if he done like, because I couldn't remember which lyric it was, because obviously I didn't have the lyrics, and I was like, oh no, is he not doing it? Is he not doing it? Oh, and then he did it, and then like, oh my god, he has such a beautiful voice, and throughout this, as I've said, he's been so good at embodying the emotion, but the way that his physicality from his eyes, you can see the lines in his eyes as he's feeling the song, all the way down to his hand on his chest. He's completely grounded in the song, and I love that. Again, like I said, obviously, yes, he wrote the lyrics, but and again, I'm not saying that you can't do that if you hadn't written the lyrics, but just being able to see that connection, it just really, really impresses me. I'm going to listen to it again. Oh. Oh. Well. Oh. That was beautiful. I'm really glad that I did this reaction the way I did. I didn't check beforehand whether there were lyrics on the music video. And so I did intend to do both this and the Dingo music performance as I've done it. But obviously I didn't plan on having the lyrics and stuff. But I'm glad I did it this way. This was such a good song, and I loved, again, like I said, after the music video reaction, because I didn't have the lyrics to kind of guide me. And again, I even mean in terms of the Korean lyrics, not just like a translation. You could feel, how the emotion of the song was affecting, and again, I'm going to say the character that YOSEOP is playing. And you could, like I said, I made the joke like, oh, it's probably just my heart, but like I could feel it. I love at the end of the Dingo music performance though, just the way that you could almost see like him just settle afterwards. At least that's how it feels. Kind of to me, it's almost like a peaceful like letting go maybe, or like a recentering. I really, really, really enjoyed this. This is this is my first, like, again, my first solo that I've done of the group. And I will be doing obviously the other member solos in the future. But I'm really glad that this was the first one that I happened to do. Just I think because of how, and I'm not saying that the others won't make me feel something, but this, as again, the way that I feel it in my, like in my bones and in my body. I'm honestly just running out of words. I am blown away. Again, clever use of the background vocals, because you could have, YOSEOP could have done this song without the background vocals, just had the regular accompaniment without them. But I think it was important to the song and important to the performance that they were there, just for the way that he performs the song. I think it adds so much to have those background, just as extra textures and extra layers. I love the way as well with the close to the end with that high note. There was the background vocals continued the line, and I think that was really clever, just from like a vocal stamina kind of way, because it just gives him time to focus on that specific part, and obviously it's a technically challenging part, so it gives him that little bit of time to center himself for the note and then readjust for the end, and I really like that. I'm glad again that this was a calmer song, but in the same way, it was so big but small at the same time, and I think it's just purely because of the way that like it was almost like they'd created a virtual space with this song, and then they filled it and removed it, and obviously this is a metaphor, but they filled it and removed it with different elements, in order to make that feel bigger and smaller without ever changing the actual size. Again, it's a metaphor, but I really enjoyed this. Oh, yeah, what a song. So thank you guys so much for watching. As I said in the beginning, I assume if you're watching this reaction that you have seen the original song. If you haven't, and even if you have, I will be putting the original song in the description. Please go and support the original song, the music video. Please stream the song, whatever you listen to your music on. This is such a good song. He has really impressed me with this. Yeah, I'm running out of words. That was amazing. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone. Bye.